Good afternoon. Yesterday afternoon we had 2 or 3 hours where it wasn't actually raining and even a little bit of sunshine initially, so I thought I need to get out and do something. So I cleared away, I moved the palings that I can use over against the fence here, and the other wood that was either too rotten, not any use for anything, I put on the trailer, and the remaining palings I have stacked up around the other side of the compost bins. The wood that I put on the trailer I have taken to the dump. It goes off to be burnt. Anyway, today I was busy this morning, went to see Mum amongst all of that, and this afternoon I thought I just need to crack on and get on with some stuff here, and then the skies opened. But as you can tell behind me, there is blue sky, but also there is more threatening weather coming from that direction. So I'm just going to carry on, and what I want to do is to cut this long grass here and then dig back along where this pipe is heading, so I can kind of figure out where it is actually heading. I suspect it's heading about here somewhere, which would be unfortunate. If it was there it would be great, but anyway, we will find out as things progress. And as I speak to you, it is raining on me and on the lens, but I'm going to carry on anyway. You can probably tell that both the grass and the ground are very wet. I decided the line trimmer was going to be the best tool for the job. It was only a small area to do. Besides, the trimmer was right here in this shed, whereas the mower is over in the other shed. As I explained, I was reasonably sure I knew the direction in which the conduits were going under the surface. So this is really just an exercise in confirming the unfortunate truth. Interestingly, as I was trying to cut down through the soil with the spade, there were some significant roots to cut through. I'm not sure which tree they're coming from. No doubt more will be revealed as things progress. I must confess I will be quite pleased when the rain stops for a few days and things start to dry out a bit, at least on the surface. All the area around here that has no grass is quite greasy and slippery to walk on. With the way the ground is at the moment, it would be potentially dangerous to have any sizable machinery trying to operate on it. As I said, I was hoping that it would have a curve in it and then it would be nearer this corner, but in actual fact it's pretty much a straight line. So that means it's going to be somewhere down about here somewhere, where it will be outside the shed. I am rethinking the plan somewhat. Hello. If you've watched any number of my videos, you will know that often my plans change. Sometimes that's because I change them, and sometimes it's because circumstances dictate that they need to be changed. With respect to this down here, I have decided that I am better at this point to focus on dismantling the shed and getting that out of the way so that we can actually get a digger down here to dig this pipe up. That's probably better use of my time rather than me trying to dig my way down there with a spade and post hole digger. So that is what I will do. So the things that are currently in here will go back to the wooden shed, probably where they were. Some may go downstairs next door. I'll see. We'll see how much room we have. So I'll get on with that. I think that is it for today. The next job is really take the glass out and take the roof off, and we are forecast to get rain, so I don't want to do that. When I moved all the timber yesterday, the timber that wasn't palings that I wanted to keep, for the most part, is now in under the deck here, where it's sheltered from the sun and most of the rain. It is really just there so that if we need braces and things when we're doing poles for the retaining wall and things like that, then that's a handy source of timber that we can use without having to resort to new stuff. Okay, I think that's it for today. I'm going to go and have a cuppa. Alrighty, oh, just before I go, oh, I've left this door open as well, so I'll deal with that. Part of my keenness to move the shed is that every time we get a reasonable amount of rain, more of this hillside collapses down in behind the palings that I put there. Now, it's not a serious collapse, it's just, but by the same token, I don't want to get to the point where the shed is hanging over the cliff kind of thing. So that will be the next thing on the agenda, is to take down the shed. I'm just going to store it against this lot here, I think. That's my thought at this point. That may change, but I think that'll be okay, because if I put it towards this end, we'll still be able to access down here through this end. I think 1, 2, yeah. So the longest parts are 3 meters long, and I'm pretty sure that's what it is from there to there. So that should all work. If perchance we get some fine weather tomorrow, I'll come and make a start. If not, it'll be next week. Bye. I know that I did say yesterday, if the weather was fine enough that I would get on to dismantling the shed. But I thought actually I'm better to complete this fence if I can. So you will have seen the time lapse of what I did earlier, and I have carried on down here, and I have come to this part where I now need to go down over the other side here, on the other side of the fence, and put, I think I'll use a bit of 4x2, 100x50, and screw that to that post there, and then that will come up a certain height, and already have the rail sitting there. And because the gap between the top rail and these boards is much less, I won't put a bottom rail in. I will just nail them all off to these boards. So that's what I'm going to do now. I needed to remove this trunk of the Pseudopanax tree as it was coming over such that I couldn't put the top rail in. The tree has several trunks reaching for the sky, and removing this part will only slow it down for a little while. The common name for this species is five-finger. The layout of the leaves looks like a hand with 5 fingers on it. They do not die easily, and if you cut them right back to almost nothing, they still come away again. They're not as strong when you do that, but they do come away. Today has been a bit of an unusual Saturday for us in that we had some long-standing friends from a few hours north come to visit us for morning tea. They stayed through till about 12, and then there was someone else with us through for another hour. It was nice to see them all, and we enjoyed the conversation. The consequence was that I didn't start out here until nearly 2 p.m. The afternoon was further interrupted by someone else arrived for half an hour or so in the middle of the afternoon, but that too was enjoyable. It's nice to be able to relax a bit on a Saturday, knowing that you don't have to be back at work on Monday, and so things don't have to be done today. As you will have seen from the time-lapse, I was still needing to reshape the majority of the palings to close the gaps and keep things plumb. It was a bit of work, but I believe it will prove to have been worth it in the longer term. Next week we are forecast to have 4 days of chilly starts and fine days. That will be great if it happens. I received a call from geotech engineers on Friday to say that they will be here next Wednesday to do some ground testing. This is the company that we have engaged, not the one engaged by the insurance company. I also had a couple of calls from the insurance estimator yesterday, So I'm expecting something from them later in the week as to what they are proposing and how much money might be involved. I'm planning to make contact with the boring people earlier in the week to see if they have a plan as to when they might return to complete the installation of the conduits. I am thinking that Thursday could be a good day, as we will have had the maximum number of drying days, well, forecast anyway, before the next showers are scheduled to arrive. I need to remove the shed before they come, which was in part why I was keen to complete the fence today. As you can probably tell, it's getting reasonably late in the day and I'm fighting for light really, although the camera shows it much lighter than it actually is. I am pleased to say that that's almost finished. I need a half a paling right at the end here, but I'm not actually going to do that, just in case I return that fence around and come along the other way. that is a great thing to have completed. That part of it anyway. As I've said before, later on I will water blast it all and stain it, oil it, both in the one. So that's it for this video. Hope you have been entertained in some way. See you later. Bye.